too much in my bag. I can't.
While I'm tempted to touch you and tempted to kiss on you.
I'm sorry. I'm in a
When
dry
you
spell.
are still tempted.
I am.
You sound like he's like a creepy old man.
I feel that way. I feel that way. It's just, something is making me sweat.
Like nervous.
I am.
I do. I will.
Oh yes, more. I like.
Point is like when it comes to that thing, and guys don't realize it, and women too. But when a guy says, let's just be friends, a woman has. If you don't take the proper time, it'll never work the way you guys see it in your brain to work because there's too much emotion there. You have to just wait 6 to 8 months of not talking because you may realize you really had nothing in common. So there's nothing to be friends with, other than the sex.
Right. Well, I mean, for me,
you would know.
No, and I would, and that's why I feel the way that I do now because I realized as time went on in the beginning, this is how it was, but throughout time, it transforms into something amazing. To whereas me being me, I'm a tester. I have to test you. I have to push you to the limit.
Stop that.
Yeah, we're working on that for 2019. I'm currently in therapy with Melinda.
You keep testing, folks. And when you lose,
I did lose. This is why we have the topic that we have now. Hello. Listen.
Next day.
Yeah, because then because I realized the next day. Listen, I am because I don't do this love thing. I don't. This is why and this is why I was able to detach myself in the beginning. So in the beginning, it was just a physical act because I did not want to go through the hurt, the pain, the ups, the downs, the lows, the highs. I didn't want that. I wanted that need filled, and I wanted to be out. Now, I should have got out after the first year. Year 3, oh dear Melinda, I'm not about that.
Year 6.
I'm not for that.
Year 12.
So I mean, and now I feel like, oh my God,
he hasn't married me, but I don't know what it is.
No, we ain't going that way. I'm sorry. But I mean, after the fact, I feel now I'm looking at the situation and I'm like, oh my gosh, like we were friends. We did have conversations. I enjoyed myself with you a lot. You were an escape. Like when even now.
Stop. Pause. An escape or friendship?
When I say escape, I mean like when I had something going wrong, I would run over there and he would make it better. So that was my escape.
Would he make it better or was he a distraction? Because when you came back to it, it was still there.
But it made it better at that time, so it was a distraction.
But again, was it real friendship or was it just an escape? That's a good question.
It was, for me, I would say a friendship developed, so it was real friendship. Now, did I, and the things that he was distracting me from didn't have anything to do with him. That's why I ran to him. But when I came back, yes, those things were still sitting here. But in the midst, it was like, oh, well, this is what you can do. Or what I let him in on. Because I didn't let him in on everything.
Yeah. What does that mean? We're going to wrap it up? Going through break? So was it this or was it this? I just didn't know. This means start to wrap it up into a break.
And then this means break.
That means you're too far.
When we come back.
We have more of this topic with Melinda and Dawn.
When we come back, we're going to get this right. When we come back, we're going to talk into more the number 3 reason, right? Of why is it that you never appreciate what you have until it's what you have. So you're listening to Playbook with Melinda and Dawn on Power 108.9. Almost right.
You got it. You good. But then too, don't forget that comment that she made. Like you said, that was a good question.
Yeah.
You remember what she said?
No, because she wrote you.
Question was the escape or friendship. Was it an escape?
Was it a distraction?
Or a distraction?
Right. So,
yeah.
Like that was
all in at 678.
Yeah, you can do that, but just hold that. You know what I'm saying? And go back because that could be
And come back to that
you can come
conversation.
back to that. You know what I'm saying?
This
So
will be the quickest hour.
it's only 22 minutes in. So
I like that though. 'Cause I like the music breaks.
yeah, get your time to reset. You know what I'm saying? But we got to get you on the clock. Clock.
Do you have a digital
Okay.
clock here? Or do I need to buy one?
No, you don't need one. That's what I'm here for. But the station,
Yeah.
when you're running on the station, kind of the same way Sean was, the commercials are coming in
Yeah.
during those times.
Gotcha.
But for right now, we're just working on the content. So
Gotcha.
you're fine. And then we're just working on the time. So
Oh, I need to pub that book when it makes me crazy.
that could be do a live read. Let me see.
Do a live. So I'm gonna go back to how I used to do the X-Files show and email the segments, the topics, and all that stuff in between. Yeah, so between you and I'm sure I'm gonna send you the template. So when you get that topic, fill it all in. Follow it. How you guys doing?
So do
Hi,
the
Titi Alba.
who want to do the live read?
Let John do a live read.
So you do Valerie Randolph. So, and what you'll say, the way you started off and say, hey, this segment is being brought to you by, and then go into the Valerie Randolph live.
You got it? Don?
This is a way with live reads. I was telling Santiago that with live reads, you save money in production time by doing live reads versus doing the commercials, because most of your viewers are going to be watching the show anyway. So if you're dropping the plugs, hey, this segment is being brought to you by, and then you drop the plug. You can do that once or twice a show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's better than just a commercial.
So when we intro in, and we're back, how do you say it?
Hey, however you want to do it. Hey, hey, we're back. This is the Playbook with Melinda and Dawn on Power 108.9. As a matter of fact, this segment is being brought to you by da 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 da. Check out da 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 da. Blah, blah, blah. Before we went to the commercial, we were talking about this.
Go back in.
Yeah. And if you want to chime in, you can call, blah, 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 blah. And even if you want to, like you said, hit me, but I don't want to give about secrets, but I'll tell you. Honestly, I don't want to give the world
So
our
when you come
secrets.
back in, hey,
But here's the deal, though.
Come back in.
But here-
I do the library.
But here's the deal. Somebody's going to have to be lead.
Yeah.
Somebody, the same person has going to come in every time.
Well, you started.
You got to be, you got to
so
be.
since you started bringing it in, and then you bring me into the library.
And then you have to time it to a point. So when Joy and I were doing it, whenever I said the date, she knew to come in with that on this day. So when you have a segment,
so when we
like,
create the segments, know our meetings.
yeah, whatever that cue is, and then it's about the timing. Like when she come back in, hey, like even like right now. So when you come in, do the intro, hey, it's the Playbook with Melinda and Dawn on Power 108.9. And then so when she say Power 108.9, and you can say this segment is brought to you by, and then go into your library.
Okay.
You can pick up the paper.
I got
You guys good? Hey, I finally got to catch you later. Hey, Misha.
All right, come on. You ready?
Happy belated. And hey, we're back with the Playbook with Melinda and Dawn.
This segment is brought to you by Valerie Randolph of the Randolph 8. What you want me to do?
I'm sorry, your energy. I'm sorry.
I got the most energy ever. That's not
Right there, yes.
Valerie Randolph and the Randolph Agency of Allstate. Why do I feel like I need this voice when I say Allstate? A multi-line insurance agency offering everything from home and auto and of course life insurance. You can find Valerie at 1995 Windy Hill Road in Smyrna, Georgia. Also, she can be reached at 770-435-7667 or just visit the website.
Let's like New York. But listen, we're back from the break, and before the break, we left off. There was a good kind of question here about was it an escape or
Was it a distraction?
was it a distraction? And within either of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there really friendship?
Right.
Okay, because I may run to somebody because I'm comfortable.
Right.
It doesn't mean I want to share my life secrets with them.
Right.
I just want to meet with them for a pastime to have good sex, get my mind off of that, some good cardio in, and I'm gone. So does that quantify? Is that a word?
You just made it one.
That qualifies.
Don't ever talk about my creative work.
But you stick to yours.
I do, because once I make them, they're mine.
But do you qualify that? Do you qualify that as a friendship?
It grows. I think for me, it developed and it grew into a friendship. So I
didn't know his name.
That was the first year.
That's so sad.
But I told you, at the first year, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me the first year. I tapped out. Like where I was the first year, I tapped in.
Call in 678-383-2339 if you want to join the conversation
and
tonight.
get me out the hot seat because y'all never help me.
And tonight's topic is, why is it that you never appreciate what you have until it's what you had?
Absolutely.
And Donna's going through her tumultuous
Here we go.
relationship of 3 years not knowing the man's name.
Wow. It was just the first year. Make it sound so bad. It was the other one that was like 5 years in. No, I work on a regular basis. I didn't need to know. Hello, I just had
friends.
And that's what I said. What did I say? We found out year 3 that we were on different ages in the first year. We weren't friends. Well, I say, if you ask me, I say we weren't friends. You asked me, we said we were friends.
You're getting to New York.
I forgot you can't deal with all of that.
That's too much.
No, I say we weren't friends. He said we were friends. And then as we were having the conversation, I was just like, no. And then when I started looking bad, I was like, yeah, you're right. We were friends.
So, okay. So, in that friendship, did you guys talk about, or did you guys help each other financially? Did you guys? No. She always leaves.
Y'all know I always get up and leave.
She always leaves.
Look, this is the point where I need that running music.
Because hold on, wait. Where is that? That's
it. I'm out. I feel like
so as friends, sometimes we're like, I gotta help my friend out. Mm-hmm. But did you guys help each other financially? Was it a one-way street?
Year 2.5.
It was what?
It was a mutual thing. Probably more of me because of who I am and what I do. You know what I mean? But it was a mutual thing. I would say to him, "Hey, let's go eat." And in my mind, I was always, if I actually eat, then I'm paying.
Right.
And we would get there and the check would come and I'm grabbing it. He would look at me and you want to put your hand back? And I'd be like, "Oh, okay."
Well, so in the relationship, we don't realize if the man pays for the meal all the time. When we buy ourselves, we realize, damn, I'm spending $60
Damn, so
I'm realizing my finances are now affected because I didn't appreciate what he was doing or what she was doing. If it's and we can go into the whole it's a real man thing. A real man doesn't let a woman pay, but a woman should always offer.
Right.
Right.
But for me, it was again. I was always if the person asking is something you want to do.
Yeah.
But when he was gone, then I'm looking around like, okay, now I have no one to play with. Like I have no one to do these things that we were doing.
Okay, so now, is it friendship or is it loneliness?
No, it was friendship because I miss not just going out with him. I miss my friend. When something happened, like for example, this past weekend, first thing I wanted to do was pick up the phone and be like, "Oh my God, this weekend was so amazing," but I can't.
Was it loneliness or companionship that you missed?
I miss the friendship.
Okay, I think there's a point in there. The friendship was not really a friendship.
Not in the beginning. It was something that developed.
Okay, so financial things that in a relationship you would miss with you guys.
What do you mean?
Well, what kind of things would you miss someone doing for you?
Financially?
Yeah.
Anything to do with me. Financially, what do you mean? I'm confused by your question.
Yes, Michael.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
my man Rose said, you don't appreciate what you had till it's gone because you don't realize the 80% you had was better
than the 20 you went after.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Come on now, Ro. See, you speaking our language.
And it wasn't even so much for me at 80-20. It was all selfishness. It was all 100%.
And again, speaking from my perspective, when I go into a relationship or when I think it's a relationship, you know, come to find out they're situationships or something after.
And I go in thinking it's a situationship and come out as a relationship.
Right. Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you may not come out of a relationship, you come out single again, but no, it becomes
right.
I look at it like, why didn't you appreciate the small things that I did?
Right.
I did it out of the kindness of my heart. If I paid a bill, it wasn't because I did it to keep you. I did it because I want to take some of that burden off your shoulders.
Right.
It wasn't that made you less of a man. It was the fact that I want to show you that I'm a good woman.
And I have your back.
And I have your back.
Right.
And it's not because you fell short. It's because I want to take some of that stress off you. Like, listen, you have a helpmate. I'm not someone that's just going to take from you, but I'm here to help the relationship.
And you know, it's funny because someone said to me today, if I'm in the street and I'm fighting and I'm protecting us, so therefore when I get home, I expect you to protect me.
But see, right there, that's a good point. A lot of men don't know how to protect the women because they weren't shown how to protect.
When he said it, it was more or less, I'm in the street and I'm fighting off everything that's coming our way. So when I get home, I don't need to fight you too.
What's that, Michael? Get the mic. What's that?
How can you use that excuse? Oh, he didn't protect because he didn't know how to protect or wasn't taught. But you're a grown man. You should know by now.
Again, if you're selfish, if you only had you to worry about, you don't know, and you didn't have an example of a solid relationship with mom and dad, or even hell, a relationship with mom, for instance. Some of those moms working 24/7, they weren't even there for their kids. So they're not only just a single parent home, they're a no parent home. They're fending for themselves at 8 years old and 9 years old. How do you protect a woman when all you're trying to do is protect yourself?
But at what point, as a man, do you grow up and be like, okay, I'm sure this ain't very manly of me?
At what point, I think more or less
You
for me,
it's still taught something.
I think for me, it's more, what point is this your situation? Do you want to change it? You know what I mean? If this is what you've seen growing up, at what point do you say, I'm not going to do the same things that I've seen. I'm going to change it because I didn't like the way it made me feel.
But what if you see something and you think that is status quo?
We got YouTube.
Yeah.
He said we got YouTube.
You're going to learn how to protect a woman on YouTube? Oh my God. This is why.
You're trying to say Google University.
You know, and that's a tough discussion because I can't blame you for something you didn't know. I can blame you if you're using it as an escape route not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. If you truly didn't know. And I remember I had this topic a long time ago about, are men just clueless or they just are not doing it?
Right.
Because if you don't know that your boyfriend wants to be told, man, you look good today.
Right.
Just oblivious to the fact that he wants to hear it. Are you clueless? Or you purposely don't tell him he looks good so he don't have a big show to go out and mess with another woman? Like, two different things.
Two different things.
So when a man is in a home or if a man gets a girlfriend, all he knows how to do is protect himself. That's all he knew how to do.
I see.
And that's why there's nobody respecting these girls.
I see, because I know there were certain things. There were certain things like my mom. My mom smoked cigarettes. I didn't like it. So I said, that's going to be something I'm going to do. So therefore, it was up to me to look at what was in front of me to change. There were certain things that we did in our house growing up that I said, yeah, I'm not for that. So I don't do it with my kids because I didn't like the feeling it made me feel.
That's you, though. Who do I need to say hi to? I can't see. Sean? Hey, Sean. Sean who? Give me a last name.
Just
Sean. I'm going to get that man last name.
Hey, Sean. Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
What's that, Sean? Thank you for watching the Playbook.
Are you single, Sean?
With Melinda and Zoe.
Listen. See, he agrees. But no, that's for you. You saw something and you said you weren't going to apply that in your adult life. I'm talking about some of these young kids who can't distinguish it, and then all of a sudden, what are they doing? What was their example? What if they didn't know?
Hey, Sean. How you doing?
Oh, Hey, Sean. Look at them shoes Sean got on. Hey, Sean. Hey, Sean Lovings.
Oh, damn. Whole name.
His whole name on Facebook? Sure, hey, Sean Lovings. I'm loving the socks, Sean Lovings. Dawn is single.
Oh, the hell we go.
She don't want no more cheer. And for $9.99.
Can I get shipping in here?
You can get the bun. You can get the bun, the hair, the package, everything with it. Yes, for $9.99.
Can I get shipping in here too?
No.
Damn. You see what it is? I ain't even got a good pimp. We ain't even gonna make
Go
good
to
money.
Playbook.com and you can order your dog.
Y'all don't want those. They stubborn. They selfish.
10% discount, no bun, but you get the bun. There you go. So listen, when we come back, we're gonna go into the next two reasons. Why is it that you don't appreciate something when you have until it's what you had? So come on back with the Playbook with Melinda and Dawn on 108.9.
Power.
Power!
Good job.
Wakanda for life.
Good job.
Hi, Shawan. So that's what happens. So the girls get on your station, and then they get engaged and get married, right? That's how we do it. So we're gonna do this.
Yeah, next.
I'm getting
Listen,
married.
I'm staying here.
2019.
Listen, I ain't. Oh,
I'm getting married in 2019. I'm calling it.
Um,
Yo, I'm stupid. My watch
So-
has been on and ain't been on all day. I never turned it.
so great job on the library. I'm just lying.
Let me do the library.
We do the library. Just let it flow. Don't do the radio. Remember when you're selling your sponsors to your when you're selling your advertisers to your listener base, they're buying it because it's you and you're authentic you. So I know, like with libraries, you definitely gotta practice them, but don't be the radio guy voice. Hey, this is Dawn of Power 108.9. I want you to check out our newest sponsor. Yeah, you don't have to do that.
Right.
Read it as you.
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Read it as you.
Can I do Nikita Todd Stanley?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to do Brian Joe?
No, you can do the key.
Nikita Todd Stanley and the Team Top Reality Group. Dedicated
Real
to-
tea.
I said
It's
real.
supposed to be real.
It's a reality.
Yeah, I must have spelled it.
Oh,
wrong.
it is reality.
Yeah, I spelled it wrong, but I did.
Realty. The reality show. The Nikita Todd Stanley reality show. Group.
Real tea group.
I'll say it just like
What did Rose say? Rose said.
that. Hey, bro.
Rose said.
What's up, bro?
Bro, what you
what
say,
you
bro? Rose said, you don't appreciate. Oh, no, I wrote it down. He said, when do you know? So here's a question for y'all when y'all come back. When do you know when to step in as a man and protect your woman? Because some women say they can't protect themselves. Know your role.
So Rose says, when is it what?
When do you as a man know when to step in to protect your woman? Because some women say they can protect themselves.
When do
Know
you
your
know as
role.
a man?
And we're not necessarily talking about physical, right?
I'm a woman, regardless if I
No,
say
no,
I
that's on the show.
think
That's on the show.
That's when we come back. That's when we come back.
Tease the question. Tease Ro. You know, hey Ro checked in on Facebook. As a matter of fact, you can check us out on Facebook too. Follow the page. Blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying?
we need some cue cards or some that prompt or something.
Nah, it comes with time. It comes with time. You gotta know everywhere you can drop a shameless plug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think I hear your box. And the reason why I'm playing this music, just follow Jaro. He sends us a whole bunch of instrumentals to play for the show. So we're not playing
License stuff.
Yeah, license stuff, and they won't give you this out. Michael Face McFadden. Yo,
Face. I got two faces in my life. Right?
the original.
Scarface.
I'm the original.
Jordan. Michael Face.
Come on.
And we are back with the Playbook with Melinda and Dawn. Hey, checking in on Facebook. Thank you, Ro, for this question that we're going to get to in a second. But you can also follow us on Facebook at The Official Playbook. You can follow us on Instagram at The Official Playbook. On The Official Playbook on Instagram.
And
The official Playbook on Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah.
also,
See how she just.
I mean, you guys, there's some we go back and forth.
And our new home, Power
Listen.
108.9, man. Shout out to Michael McFadden and
Shout
friends.
out
The mo-
to Michael McFadden. No, I just want to get the 2 cents in. The 2 cents in. I'm just.
And listen, we want to give a shout out to Nikita Todd Stanley at and the Team Todd Realty Group, dedicated to help people realize dreams. We're gonna get these drops right. We're gonna get these live.
We're gonna get these live reads together.
Ro had a question, and Ro's question was, if I can remember, how do you know when, as a man, you should answer this
to protect your woman.
To when you need to protect your woman, when she says, I can protect myself.
Well, I'm going to answer this question as actually as a woman.
Can you use your man voice?
She says
Use your man voice. Give them a Use your man voice.
As a woman. We always say we don't need to be protected. We're strong enough. But that is a lie. We always want to feel protected, covered. So therefore, I can tell you, I got it. I got this. I don't need you I got me, boo. I don't need you to help me out. But what I really want you, I want you to save me. I want you to rescue me.
If you want to chime in, Ro, give us a call, 678-383-2339, and chime in the conversation. That's a good point. Women have become so interdependently.
Right.
They want to be independent to show that their man is not weak, but they get so gung-ho on it, they refuse to allow a man to help them.
Right.
Now, this is not a man coming in to save the day and the whole women who manipulate men with money to do X, Y, and Z, sugar mama, sugar daddy situation. This is a woman who has been left to fend for herself, who has bricks up.
That knows nothing other than to protect herself and to fight.
And her family.
Right.
And when we leave out the trust, when we start to lend out the emotion of trust, now it becomes a problem because what? We've been let down so much. And when we continue to get let down, we no longer have faith in that protection.
And Shaka made a good point. Shout out to my sisters that are watching today. Shaka, Keisha, Angie. Shaka said we want to feel as though our backs are covered.
We want to, absolutely.
You want to feel like he's got your back. I can tell you I got it all day. And I might. However, I shouldn't have to. I should tell you that. You should look at me and laugh and be like, oh, so cute. You tried it.
Well, again, words are just words.
Absolutely.
It all becomes around the action. When I'm down, do you cover me?
Absolutely.
And even in my absence, are you covering me?
Absolutely. And Joy just made a good comment too. She said sometimes
shout out to Joy.
Superwomen need a hero. I don't always want to wear my cape. I want to put it up. I don't want to always rescue. I want to be rescued sometimes.
So let me ask this then.
I knew you would chime in.
Yeah, you know I was. You want to be rescued, but do you get those privileges as a girlfriend? Or are those wifey privileges?
But isn't okay, and this is how we go back and forth. Because I feel like with the right guy, girlfriend is training for wifey.
I don't agree.
With the right, when you have the wrong guy that you're doing the right things for. And at that point in time, you're doing girlfriend.
But not all girlfriends are wives and training.
How can I expect Mike to look at me as a wife? No, we already had this today.
You hear me?
How can I expect Mike to look at me as a wife if I'm not going to do wifey
because Latasha
things?
would kick your ass.
I'm just saying. I can't expect him to look at me in that position if I'm not going to put myself out there and do things to be looked at in that way.
Okay, now we're talking something different. It's playing the wife as the girlfriend. See, now you're talking that. Again, a lot of men will date you with no intention on ever marrying you.
But you know that.
No, you know.
You do. After a while, you know that.
After how much, 3 years?
If it took you 3 years to get that, then you need hooked on fine.
No, what I'm saying, a man can say, listen, not right now. There's key words, there's play on words, not right now, to allow the woman to hold on. And then, as they're word playing, the manipulation, Next thing you know, 3 years go by, 4 years go by. Well, I'm just not ready financially. I'm just not ready right now. And so you wait for that big payday that he makes it.
Then that's on you. That's not on him.
But again,
because you stay.
But again, I'm answering your question, and the question was, being a girlfriend is not being a wife in training. That's two separate things. A wife in training, you're gonna know in the first 3 months to 4 months if you're gonna marry me or not with a ring. There's gonna be an action behind the words.
But again, like you just said, you'll know this. So I know if I'm coming in and I feel this way about you and I want to show you that I possess these qualities for you to look at me that way, then I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm not going to keep doing it 4 years, 5 years down the line.
You do it one time. My philosophy is you do it one time. I'm going to iron your shirt to show you I can iron. I'm going to cook you a great meal to show you I can cook. But I'm not going to go into the whole wifely duties and all of that stuff if you don't have that plan for me to have a wife with a ring. You get the
So you're trying to tell me after one time I'm going to give you a ring? How do I know you prepared that meal?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you can't go into doing all the wifely things as a girlfriend because otherwise you will always stay a girlfriend.
I don't agree with that.
Because why would you want to marry somebody when you're getting the benefit already without the commitment?
I don't agree with that.
Well, let me flip it.
Flip it, man.
Because we're putting all of the onus on the woman, saying she has to do this, she has to iron, she has to cook, she has to do all this stuff back in from the caveman days.
Right.
What's the man's responsibility?
Provide.
Is that it?
Protect.
Provide, which is all encompassed under protect. Provide, meaning, and I only use my mom and dad as the example. My dad went to work 16-hour days, right? What's wrong? What happened? What's all the dramatics? I need to put you on theater.
No, because like when you just say provide, so what you're saying, well, this is what I hear.
Yeah.
As long as I'm doing the providing,
I don't have to do anything.
I ain't got to do nothing else.
No. See, there's a difference. And again, and I'm old school.
And I think that's what.
And
I'm sorry, I keep chiming in, but I think that's the problem. Like I think that's what men think these days. Because if I'm providing the house and the car, and I'm working every day, blah blah blah, I'm doing my part, and that's it. I have no other responsibilities, so I feel I can do whatever I want.
Well, again, what phase of the relationship are you in? If you're just dating, then you don't provide for me. I'm providing for myself. You provide for, and we do this together when we want to do stuff together. But you're not providing for me. If we're in the fiance engagement stage and we're starting to build up into that, as a wife, you got two decisions to make. Are you going to be a working wife, or are you going to be an at-home mom with your kids and raising them? You got two decisions.
So we put the women on the audition.
Right.
Yeah.
Do y'all hold the men accountable?
Yeah.
During the audition phase?
I know from when I look at you, I don't know about Mel, but I categorize. I do. I know when I look at you what category you're gonna go in, what I want from you, and where I'm gonna place you and stuff like that. I'm not. Listen, I look at you and be like,
I can't hear you.
What are the categories?
Oh, Don. What are the categories?
I'm interested in you for more than sex. It's either I'm looking at you and it's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, I wonder what his sex is like. Or it's like, I wonder
like that?
what. Listen, I'm categorizing.
What's that tallywhacker looking?
Listen, what you got? So I'm either putting you in that, or he's interested. I wonder what it'd be like dating him. Or
that's my house in 2019.
Yeah.
Shaka. Shout out to Shaka on Facebook. What the hell?
Covering up the tallywhacker.
So it's either I'm gonna sleep with you, I'm gonna date you, or I'm interested in you for it to go further. So if I look at you and we have a conversation and you're talking to me and you're kind of slow, no.
You guys chime in the conversation. 678-383-2339. You got about 10 minutes left.
You can get off of Facebook with the comments and call in. I mean, I think
we're not going nowhere.
The phone world.
You got about 9 minutes left to call in and talk to Dawn and myself about this conversation topic. Why is it that you don't appreciate what you have until it's what you had, and then you want to sit there and kick yourself? But Dawn, we've had this discussion before. You went back. You go back.
All the way. If I can get all the way in, I'm going in. I'm going in, and I'm gonna go forward.
I never went back because now I look at it like, if anything, I'm gonna be the last thing that's on your brain. Even if you get married to somebody else, I'm gonna be on your brain.
Right.
I don't go back because I will feel like if I go back, I'm going back with a purpose. I'm not going back with the same empty thing. I'm going back because I'm going to get a ring this time. I'm not going back to play around, do the same thing.
You're absolutely right, and that's my objective this time. I went back. I have a purpose this time. I have a purpose this time. But I mean, for me, honestly, I'm not drink. Listen, but I know, I know for me that there is no. It is what it is. We're friends. We're cool. The moment has passed because I know the person I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? So I know that I gotta accept the way things are. The bottom line is they don't think
they'll ever lose it.
That's just it. I didn't. I took it for granted. That's what I'm saying. I didn't. I thought he was always gonna be there. And it's funny because he said the same thing. I thought you're always gonna be in my life. No, because we're not together. So I don't want to be your friend.
What I just heard you say, I never thought he'd go anywhere. He'd always be. What I heard him say, I just thought you would always be in my life. No. That's not what you said.
No, but that's what he said.
Be together or be in my life.
He said, I never thought you would go anywhere. I always thought we would be together and you would be in my life.
So he actually said we will be together.
And I said, no, I can't. If I can't have what I want, and you know me, I'm taking my ball and I'm going. If I can't have what I want, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
Don't take his balls.
I was taking them and I was going home.
So listen. So the last thing, really quick, we want to get into is the emotional aspect of that. A woman keeps you have some peace. You come home to peace, right? You come home to fun. You come home to relaxation,
right? And
then you miss that because now you're coming home to someone, and you go back to, God, I cherish the peaceful moments, the silent moments with her. Like, these are things that when you go into a relationship, have these conversations up front, guys. This is easy. This is easy. We're easy to talk to when we know what we want on the same page. So I want you guys to tune in again next Tuesday. Oh, we're just breaking. Oh, we're going to break. Psych!
We're still here.
We're not going nowhere. But when we come back, we'll get back into this about relationships and peace. And then we'll wrap it up with all of the goodies of tonight's show with the official playbook with Melinda and Dawn on Power 108.9. I need real signals. We can't do this. Wrap it up. Cue the 9. We do a break at 9.
Yes, it's a quick break. It's a reset.
Oh, it's a quick break. 5 minutes.
Quick recap. No, it's 2 minutes. When you come back on, you have 3 minutes left. When you come back, you got 3 minutes left.
I can't stand
See that?
Recap of the show, what you talked about, set up next show, and then sign off.
Don't look what.
Bird box, goddamn.
I did that the other night with Doc. I said, we're going into 2019 like this is bullshit. No. So when we come back, we're back.
Recap what y'all talked about. Give your listeners an actionable takeaway.
The play.
Like a moment. Give them
Yeah,
a play.
grab a moment. And I think y'all need to do something. I'll bring y'all some glasses, some grown-up glasses.
Oh, we
normally do. It's just today was the last minute impromptu.
Okay.
No,
so,
we have wine glasses.
So what y'all can do is y'all can. I see y'all starting the show with it, and then ending the show with it. I see that.
She's kind of aggressive. She'll break my glass. She's so strong.
Can you stop saying that?
She's so strong.
So what you'll do, so at the end of the show,
yeah.
What you do at the end of the show, you can do a toast. Yeah. Either one of y'all can do a toast.
Toast to the play.
No, a toast to something.
Well, we call the play. Like, what's the date? What's the play? Well, what's today's play?
Yeah.
Make sure you have communication and this and that, blah, 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 blah. That's today's play.
See y'all next Tuesday. The playbook with Melinda. The playbook with Melinda Dawn, Power 108.9. And then toast, and then hit it, and then be out.
You're done.
All right.
You need a special sound effect. Yes.
So funny.
Yes.
I got a dog.
Who got a dog? You did? Really? What kind of dog you got? A Shih Tzu? Oh, that's so sweet. Have you seen the Shih Tzu? The shit.
She has a shih tzu too.
Oh, you got one too?
Mine's old.
I have a cat. Yes.
That's an old people shit, boy.
I know, right? You can leave that nigga at home. You can leave that nigga at home for 2 days.
3 days.
3 days. Nah. He gotta have an extra litter box every 1 to 3. Or I gotta have his sitter. He has a sitter. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Say hey to Khadijah, y'all.
Hey,
Hi,
Khadijah.
girl.
Millennial Khadijah, too.
Millennial Khadijah.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's Millennial Khadijah. Hey, young blood.
Hi, girl. Hi. And your terms.
All right, you ready?
We lit. That's
lit. Shout.
Liddy.
Is it 2 lits or 1?
It's just lit.
That's Brandon Lee. Say hey to Brandon. Say hey to Brandon.
Hey, Brandy.
What's up, Brandon?
What's going on, Brandon? Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
I see these freaking songs. All right, come on, let's wrap it up.
All right, this is the wrap up. This is the wrap up here at the Playbook with Melinda and Dawn. So the recap of tonight's show is honestly.
You want to do one of them live reads?
Yeah, give me the Nikita Stanton Realty Group. She good.
Fucking up my.
Get you your house. Got a foreclosure and everything.
And
Go to
then you
King
go,
of Top,
and
family,
then you go over
real-
to Valerie and you get that old state for that house.
Real
You see what I'm saying?
Then you go to Brown Joe Ware, get your money right, your money's right.
Your
You hear me?
coin.
Get your coin,
Get your
get
coin.
your credit right, correct right. But no,
Oh, yeah, because you don't be giving me my correct.
I'm done with you, Tom, too. Listen, on the recap though, Dawn,
The recap.
what would you take away if you had to give anyone some advice on making sure they don't?
Be in my seat.
Yeah.
Communication.
Communication.
Communication. That's what it is. You got to ask the question.
Mhm.
And you know, again, I battle with this statement as I say it. I'm just saying it because it's politically correct, because I'm not going to give this. The advice I'm giving, I'm not going to take.
Right.
You gotta have the, you gotta have the conversations. You gotta ask the hard questions.
Right.
I feel like if it's something you choose to do, and if it's not, you need to let that be known up front,
Right.
so there is no confusion.
So remember, recognize the benefits, the emotional benefits in a relationship.
Absolutely,
What financial benefits do they come?
absolutely.
You have to always address the concerns as they approach, not waiting weeks and weeks after. Have some honesty
Absolutely.
without judgment,
Absolutely.
right? And selfishness versus selfishness.
Selfless.
Selflessness. Be able to identify the difference, right?
Uh-huh.
So anyways, make sure you guys tune in, tell a friend, and tag somebody.
Y'all know it doesn't cost anything to share a post. Like, you can just hit that little share button, and everybody that you follow will see that you're sharing.
Bam.
For free.
So join us next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. here on the official Playbook with Dawn and Melinda here on Power 108.9.
Who toasting that thing out?
Oh, we're gonna tell
We're
you
gonna
now.
toast it out to the Playbook.
Bam. See you guys next week.
See you next week.
Thank you. All right, so we now know what to do, how to get it done.
We don't. We will.
No, I think now I just having to recap stuff like instead of how many segments do we do? 4?
But it's probably about 6.
6.
Okay.
But the content is great.
Yeah.
The content is great. We just got to structure it.
Right.
Right.
Hold on.
Let's end those.
Hey!
Say bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Please tell Pastor Fee, hey. There go Pastor Fee.
How you doing?
That's a wrong hand to salute.
Well, because this one,
No, you salute.
what if I
the
didn't
right hand.
have no right hand?
Then you won't
Then
salute.
you don't salute.
So you just did.
You just head nod.
All right.
And that's Courtney Scott. Say what's up to
Hey,
Courtney.
Courtney.
y'all.
Courtney, we might be related.
And then that's Katina. Katina said,
Hi.
great show, y'all.
Thank you. And you come talk about your experiences here on the Playbook.
Say what's up with Charles and Kimberly. Kimberly said,
Hey,
Hi,
Charles and
Kimberly.
Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly,
Thank you for
girl.
joining.
Good night, guys.
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, 9 o'clock.
Hey, Tanya. Hey, Media Group. Tanya, look. Hey, LaRon. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you and appreciate our new home, Power 108.9. 108.9. Make sure you guys follow them on Facebook. Follow Michael and Joy. Michael and Friends in the morning.